You are always held with unconditional love. When you look up at the moon and stars, you can feel your soul's connection to the entire universe and all its beings. It's possible to make every decision with your mind, body, and spirit in total alignment and wholeness. I'm Divinely Jennifer, translating astrology and health in ways you've never experienced before so that you can choose the path that is right for you. And this is the Juicy Astrology for July 11 to July 17, 2021. Welcome. Hello, beauty, and welcome to the Juicy Astrology for July 11 to July 17. I'm coming in a little bit late after that luscious new moon in Cancer in my home sign, in the sign of home. I spent much of the weekend taking care of my very big babies and spending some time with them. We are in the middle of a serious heat wave here in the Sierra foothills and for much of California and the Southwest. You can't make this stuff up. As far as a lot of the fire in the sky that is out there right now. And for some areas, there is a lot of that Cancer energy, like on the California coast. It's foggy and chilly, totally different energy. You travel east 100 miles and the temperature goes up 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's really wild times that we are in right now. This is, as I mentioned in the new moon video, this is a tough lunar cycle overall. And overall, this is a pretty hard week with a few really nice moments to take advantage of. So I am going to do things a little bit differently. I've got my book here. I use my Danielle Laporte planner here where I write all of my astrology. And so I'm going to be going through it day by day. A little bit differently. You might hear pages turning and rustling, but don't worry about it. Today, this is a no frills video and audio. Didn't curl my hair. It's hot. I got the light. It's already dark outside because it was just too hot to do anything, even with the AC on. And let me tell you how blessed I am to have AC. And as my daughter said, coming home from work yesterday, she was outside working in the heat as a hostess at a restaurant. And she was like, I've never been so grateful to be able to take a cold shower before. And that's the energy we want to feed and fuel during these tough times. That we want to feed the energy of gratitude. And more importantly, we want to feed the love. The message this week is to choose love over fear. Come home to love. There is so much polarity out in the world right now. You can't escape it. The fear is everywhere. You have people who have been injected with a noxious experimental chemical, telling people that they shouldn't hang out with those who have not been injected with that noxious chemical, that they're somehow different and they should be separated. And then you have people who haven't been injected with a noxious experimental chemical telling you not to hang out with the people who have had this experimental chemical injected into their bodies because they might be shedding some type of spike protein or something that's going to interfere with their health. So everyone wants you to separate. And I'm feeling really feisty right now because there is a lot of this Leo energy out there. I'm not really picking up as much on the Cancer energy. It doesn't feel as strong as the Leo energy. And that's probably because the sun has moved out, or the moon rather, has moved out of Cancer from the new moon and into Leo. And she's going to be conjuncting Venus and Mars in the morning. It's going to get like, whew, we're going to be feeling some fire, and then all of a sudden we're going to get super emotional and be like, oh my God. So it's going to be that polarity of emotions. Always come back home to love. No matter how much separation people are trying to enforce in the world, these people are bad, these people are wrong, these people are dirty, these people are evil. Just say no to all of it and say yes to love. I know that sounds a little bit hippy-dippy right now, but that's the energy we need to be calling in, because if we do not, we're gonna be freaking miserable. and we're going to be pointing fingers at people we love. And that just doesn't win for anybody. So, with no further ado, let's get to the juicy astrology for July 11 to July 17th. On July 11th, that's actually today, so a lot of you are going to see and watch this on July 12th. The moon has been in Leo all day, and if you had a chance to go outside as the sun was setting, you may have seen a beautiful little sliver of the moon right next to Venus and Mars, who look like one very large star. It was just a stunning moment, and it totally made my day and soothed my soul from all of the stuff that's out there and some of the emails I've been getting. But the moon overall has a pretty good day. The big news today is that Mercury left Gemini finally. Oh my God. Mercury finally left Gemini and entered Cancer at 1:35 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So just as a reminder, all the times I list are Pacific Daylight Time. So please adjust according to your time zone. This is going to give us a big shift in communication. Thank goodness. There's going to be a lot less and a whole lot more feeling, a whole lot more love coming into and sentiment in what we say. So you might find that people are a lot more convincing. They're not like, oh, it's the science. The science says this, the science says that. It's love, 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 and love. And it can be a little bit emotional. Mercury in Cancer can on occasion strike out. He'll hold everything in, and then it'll go, and he'll grab like the crab. Something to pay attention to in yourself before you lash out at someone. Ask if it is worth reacting. Where is your hurt coming from? And come back home to love. I'm just going to keep on saying that over and over again. Mercury is in Cancer until July 27th, I believe. Hold on. So I get to look at my book where all my notes are. Yep, July 27th. And then he'll move into feisty, fiery, creative Leo. But right now, he's just all about emotion and loving up his people, sometimes with words, sometimes with tears. Generally, I feel like, even though Mercury rules Gemini, Mercury in Gemini with that square to Neptune right now was just kind of nasty. There was just a lot of nasty talk going on, and it's time to be nice. Monday, July 12th. The sun in Leo makes a beautiful conjunction first to Venus and then to Mars. And that's in the middle of the night California time. So the sun will go void at 5:29 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time with that conjunction to Mars. And she will be void all day because she doesn't move into Virgo until tomorrow, until the 13th. So all day, we are going to have that Mars conjunct, or the moon conjunct Mars energy. That's going to be really interesting. So again, people are going to be feisty, not afraid of conflict, not afraid to express themselves. Just be nice and come back to the love. It's all about the love. Tomorrow, the 12th, is not a great day to really do something, initiate something. Might be a good time to set your new moon intention if you haven't done so already. And if you need a copy of your natal chart, please email me at hello@divinelyjennifer.com. But for the most part, just plan on getting things done. You're going to feel super productive. That's the good side of Mars. You're going to want to maybe exercise or finish something that you started, or maybe you're going to just like go clean or run or exercise because you just got to get rid of that that energy. And then, hold on, I got to turn my phone off because it's chiming. Tomorrow on the 12th, the big energy really is that Mercury in Cancer trines Jupiter in Pisces at 12:45 Pacific time. They're both at 1 degree and 24 minutes of their sign. This could be a moment of big tears, emotional release, big emotional release, or it could be an outpouring of love, an outpouring of just speaking and things that you may have held in for a while. But with Jupiter always magnifies. So someone just may want to tell you for 10 minutes how much they love you, how much they missed you, whatever that energy is, you might be feeling it or receiving it. But just remember that Jupiter does magnify. So if you start to cry, it may take you a while to calm down. Or if someone starts crying with you, you may be at the grocery store and someone sees a headline and just like on a newspaper or a magazine and just starts crying, and you're going, what the heck? And that could be that energy of Mercury trine Jupiter. So please just, again, be kind to your people. Even if they're not your people, be kind to them anyway. All right, I'm going to move my microphone down. Okay, now you can't see it anymore. Tuesday, July 13th. This is truly one of the best days this week because the moon enters Virgo at 1:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The moon does have kind of a rough day. She's feeling like, look, she's tired of a lot of this BS and she just wants to raise the divine feminine. She just wants to get back to health in honoring our beautiful body and temple that we've been given. So there could be you might feel a little impatient tomorrow on the 13th rather. Just pay attention to that. But the best thing that's happening, I feel like, on the 13th is that Venus in Leo conjuncts Mars in Leo at 6:32 a.m. They're both at 19 degrees, 48 minutes of Leo. So if you have anything within 2 degrees of that in your chart, or anything at 19 degrees in Leo, gotta think through this, hold on, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Taurus. In the fixed signs, you're really going to be feeling this activated. And I always feel like it's a beautiful thing when Venus and Mars come together, and they're going to come together 2 more times at the beginning of 2022, and then they won't come together again for a while. So this is a really beautiful moment to feel empowered in your relationships, in your finances, and the way you express yourself in your relationships. Leo is all about expression. Sometimes Leo can be over the top, expressive, loud, extroverted, boisterous, that whole, a little bit arrogant, but that's okay because Leo is so charming that you kind of don't mind. But think about how colorful Leo is. All the fruits and vegetables that are blooming in the gardens in the Northern Hemisphere right now. We have blackberries aplenty here, lots of berries. You can go picking out in the wild, and that beautiful color that's everywhere from flowers, etc. That to me is Leo also expressing itself. The sun radiating your light. How can you radiate your light in your relationships? This is really the divine goddess, the love goddess coming together with the guy who's got a crush on her. And she's not really in the mood for much committal, but she's really interested in just making him feel good about himself, but not being pushed around by any means. You're going to feel this in no matter what house it's in. You're probably in your chart. You're going to feel this in general in your relationships, in your finances. You might be a little bit over the top. And what I say is have fun with it. Have a party. Bring your people together. Love everybody up, or just love up your honey. Or if you don't have a honey, love up that cute, sexy person that you have a crush on. This is a joyful buoyant, playful, creative energy. No holds barred. Have a blast, because this is one of the best transits of the week, and I feel like one of the best transits of this lunar cycle, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm planning on shining my light nice and bright on Tuesday and beyond, because Lord knows the world could use a lot more light right now. So you shine yours too, shall you? That would be so great. If you shine your light, I shine my light, we're really good. And today on July 13th, we also have Vesta in Virgo opposing Pallas Athena in Pisces at 12:48 p.m. And they're both at 27 degrees, 43 minutes of their signs. This is kind of interesting. I feel like Pallas, who is the goddess of negotiation and diplomacy and strategy, I think she's kind of tired of strategizing, and she's saying, look, is this strategy gonna work for us or not? Because if it's not, we need to fight. And Vesta, again, is all about the human body, like health in general, and she's also, to me, the divine feminine. She's the goddess of home, health, hearth. She's a midwife, and it's like, look, you can either be sovereign over your body and choose that or not. And so Pallas is saying, look, are you going to do it or not? Shit or get off the pot. And we'll see how Vesta handles it. I know for a lot of people, they're really claiming their sovereignty. And some people are not. They're really stuck in fear. And so again, when someone tries to burden you with their fears, always come back home to love. Choose the love over fear. Have the courage to choose love over fear. We are in Leo energy. Have the courage to choose love over fear. All right, so that's Tuesday. Wednesday, July 14th, the waxing moon is in Virgo all day. And for the most part, she has a really, really nice day. This is a good day. So if you are thinking about launching something, moving forward with something, if you have a health plan or issue that you really want to move forward on, if you've held off on signing any documents because you were waiting for that whole Mercury thing to be over, to be past Mercury retrograde, to be past the eclipses, this is a really nice day for that. The moon likes Virgo. And she goes void at 11:46 p.m. with a trine to Pluto. The moon is feeling her power. She's saying, okay, I know I have these waves, but right now I am in it. I am standing in my power, standing in my sovereignty. So that energy from the 13th with that Vesta opposing Pallas, today it really gets solidified with the moon. You can stand in your power because you have the courage to choose love over fear. Also today we have Pallas Athena, who we just mentioned yesterday, stationing retrograde in Pisces. She'll be, and that's at 12:40 a.m. She's at 27 degrees, 43 minutes of Pisces, and she'll be retrograde until November 8th. So she's a pretty long retrograde. She'll go all the way back to 9 degrees and 3 minutes of Pisces. So she'll go back over Neptune again, and she won't go all the way back to Pluto. Pluto will eventually catch up with her in 2022. So this is not a really huge, it's not a huge retrograde the way you might feel Venus or Mars or Mercury. But you might feel it a little bit, and it might give you some opportunity to reevaluate your strategies, reevaluate if you really want to be diplomatic or if you want to fight. But just remember, if you're going to choose to fight, do it with love. All right, Thursday, July 15th, the moon enters Libra at 7:31 a.m. So in Virgo, the moon is very thoughtful, deliberate, dedicated, maybe a little bit intense at times, but only because she is so not passionate. It's like she's hold on, I got to feel into this word. She knows what she wants. She's focused. That's the word I'm looking for. She's focused in Virgo. And she's focused on health, the home, your daily routine. What do you get up at the same time every day, or is your schedule all willy-nilly? That's Virgo. When the moon enters Libra, the moon becomes less self-focused and more focused on others. So the moon in Libra is compassionate, hopefully, really interested in justice and fairness and partnership. Moon in Libra sometimes self-sacrifices for others, not always in the best ways. So pay attention to that. She has some really lovely energy in the evening after, I would say, like 9 o'clock. She's pretty quiet all day. She only has 2 transits. She's got a square to Mercury at 7:09 p.m. So there might be some issues with conversations. And then she's got a lovely sextile to Juno, the goddess of marriage, in Sagittarius at 11:43 p.m. We have two, I'm looking at my calendar, 2 really important transits to mention today. One is very lovely. So last week we had the sun in Cancer. I have to think about that for a minute. Sun in Cancer sextiled Uranus in Taurus. And that was a nice reprieve from the Mars and Venus T-squares with Uranus and Saturn. Those were tough, very tough. We're still having earthquakes here in California, by the way. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to my new moon video. So this is this happens at 1:48 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. They're both at 23 degrees 5 minutes. It's a really dreamy, luscious, pleasurable, loving energy. Now, if this is night for most of us in the U.S., Canada, Central America, this is night for us. Make sure you keep a journal by your bed and write down your dreams of what comes up, because this is going to dig up. It's going to shine a light on some of the issues or feelings or intuitions in our inner psyche and our subconscious, and those might come to the surface. There may also, this is another tears energy, can be like, ooh, sad tears, or like, oh my God, happy tears. It's hard to know. For everybody, it's different, but just pay attention to that energy of this beautiful, generally when the Sun and Neptune come together like this in water signs, it's really nice. Sun in Cancer is very loving. He doesn't need to be really bombastic and bright the way he is in Leo. He'd rather, guess what? Have the courage to choose love. Oh yeah. So that is the Sun trine Neptune. And then we also have Chiron in Aries, the wounded healer, stationing retrograde at 9:40 a.m. and he is at 12 degrees 55 minutes of Aries, and he'll be retrograde till December 19th. And he'll station he'll go all the way back to 8 degrees 26 minutes. Now, for many of us, between the ages of 50 and 53, a lot of us are having what's called a Chiron returns. Chiron takes 49 years to venture around the sun. And so Chiron, when we have a Chiron return, it tends to say to us, okay, have you healed your wounds? And if not, why the heck not? Why are you still playing a victim? And get over it. No, it's not quite like that, but it really does encourage us to take responsibility for our wounds, for our trauma, and to heal them so we can then mentor and help others heal. We cannot help others heal if we have not healed those wounds ourselves, or we're not at least cognizant of how we need to heal those wounds. Again, like Pallas Athena stationing retrograde, Chiron does these long retrogrades every year. It's not a, quote, big deal, but it does give us an opportunity to revisit how we approach healing. Maybe this is a good time. You've been wanting to try a healing strategy. Maybe you started doing something that was a little different and it's not quite working for you. So you need to go back and figure out how to make that healing, really that healing strategy, because of Pallas Athena also being retrograde, how to make that healing strategy work for you. So this is Thursday, July 15th. All right, turning the page. Okay, so Friday, July 16th and Saturday, July 17th are hard days. I have a lot of red in my book. You see that? I have a lot of red because these are hard days. So first, the moon, the waxing moon, is still in Libra. The morning in the night, she's got some really nice transit. She's got her trine to Saturn and to the North Node. That feels really good. And she has a sextile to Mars in Leo at 10:04 p.m. Hold on, I want to make sure when she's going void. Hello, where is it? Okay, I found it. All right, she goes void on the 17th. The big news is that this is a really, really hard day for the sun. We are going to be feeling the feels, and not the feels we like to feel. We're going to be feeling some hard feels, and here's why. The sun is in a hammer of Thor, a hard rectangle, and a T-square. What does that mean? Okay, let's break it down. The sun enters the sun, just like Venus and Mars had their T-squares with Saturn, or rather with first, so it's like this rite of passage, right? So first, when they're in Cancer, they have to have this T-square with Eris and Pluto. Eris and Pluto are in a fight all year long. Eris, the wounded feminine, saying, screw you to the authorities. This is my body and you cannot have it to do with what you want, even if you come knocking at my door. And so we have to navigate how we want to stand up in our power, because Eris is the focus of the T-square, right? So she's at the top of this triangle. So you've got Eris at the top, you got the sun on one side, and you got Pluto on the other. And so the sun is going to oppose Pluto on the 17th, which is going to be tough. We're really going to feel that. But today, it's like it's the beginning of that T-square energy. And that happens, the sun really moves into that around 8:23 p.m. So you think, okay, well, we got all day to, to build up to that energy. Well, unfortunately, I mentioned we've got this hammer of Thor. So a hammer of Thor is a big, you've got to get rid of something. You just got to whack it down with a hammer and kill it, smite it, blast it to smithereens. And just looking to see, the focus of the hammer is the sun in Cancer. So one end, the bottom end of the hammer, one end of the hammer is at Juno in Sagittarius, and the South Node. They are almost conjunct, and you're going to feel that all day. So what does that mean? Well, Juno's the goddess of marriage and intimate partnerships, and the South Node is all about letting go, releasing old karma, saying, you know what, I like this, and I'm going to release the rest because I don't want it. So that's one end, and we've been feeling this energy for a while. I mentioned it in the new moon. We're going to keep feeling that energy of releasing what no longer serves us in our intimate partnerships. That is hard because a lot of us were programmed that we just suffer in our relationships, or we give, and we're not allowed to receive back. And in fact, I know someone who one of my kids was talking to, and they were having a really hard time because the person did not even want to receive a thank you. So it's really hard when people cannot receive even a thank you. And that's messed up. What have we done to people in our previous worlds, right? We gotta let that go. We gotta be able to give and receive. So not only is the sun in a T-square with Eris and then Pluto, Eris is part of this hammer of Thor. Ooh. So the focus of the hammer of Thor is actually the South Node and Juno. And Sun and Eris are squaring down there going, you got to get rid of it. You got to get rid of it. And the sun doesn't want to because the sun in Cancer is like, but wait, I like that old quilt. Why are you getting rid of that? Yeah, because that's the quilt that I had to sleep on when blah, blah, blah happened. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff come up around the home, around how we were nurtured. If you have an issue with your mother, it could very well come up in this transit or with a daughter and with the wounded feminine at all in general. So pay attention to that. We have to let go of those old wounds, and we have to let go, like I said, of those old stories around relationships and how women are supposed to be. Time to go. We can take the best of women, of how we nurture and bring that, but anything that makes women subservient or less than has to go. And then I also mentioned a hard rectangle. What's a hard rectangle? Well, it's when you've got planets that are opposite and then sesquiquadrate and then semi-square. Basically, what that all means is, in this case, instead of Eris, you add the North Node in Gemini, who is really asking us to redefine how we show up with language and messaging and just with our purpose in general. And then the North Node is opposite the South Node, as always, and Juno. And the South Node and Juno are in what's called a semi-square to Pluto. And so their power dynamics, power struggles, the shadow side of Pluto in Capricorn is that authority, is the government intrusion, government overreach. And then people do that too, right? Then the collective, people in the collective start to think that it's okay for them to shame and blame in the same way that the government is. Sun in Cancer, no bueno, doesn't like that, because the sun who rules Leo has the courage to choose love over fear. But Pluto doesn't want that. Pluto likes it when we're just a little bit afraid. And with the North Node, it's saying, what do you want your destiny to be? Are you going to choose the path of the destiny towards fear? Or are you going to choose the path of destiny towards love? That's kind of Friday in a nutshell, the 16th. As I mentioned, Saturday, July 17th is also a hard day for a few reasons. One, we've got the waxing moon in Libra, who starts the morning at 2:03 a.m. with a lovely sextile to Venus in Leo. That's a really beautiful, supportive energy to roll over in bed and stick your arm around your honey. That beautiful partnering energy, social justice energy. And remember, when you think of social justice, your view might be different than others. So just putting that out there, that could be some conflict, because then boom, boom, boom. We've got an opposition to Eris, and then the moon has her first quarter square to the sun in Cancer. That's at 3:10 a.m. That's generally an activating energy. Like if you've set an intention for the new moon, it's hard to know how that will manifest, though, because you've got that moon opposing Eris. So now the moon is in a T-square with Eris and the sun. It actually makes a hard rectangle, or a mystic cross. I don't have my astrology screen up. It makes a mystic cross. And so what that means is you have these 4 planets in cardinal signs. So that's the sign of, like, those are the signs of leadership and moving forward. So you've got the moon in Libra, and then you go square And there's Pluto, because the moon is gonna square Pluto when she goes void at 4:08 a.m. Not a gentle energy whatsoever for relationships or social justice. And then you go down and you've got you've got the sun in Cancer, and you go across and you've got Pluto, Eris. So Pluto is square to Eris all year, and then Eris is square the sun. Not a festive energy. Not the festivities of Leo that we're going to feel in with that new moon in August. Right now, this is not a great day to get into a discussion with someone. You're just going to feel the feels and maybe not be able to articulate, but it's going to feel really emotional, and you just may not have the words to put to it. Then the moon will move into Scorpio at 11:38 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And then she has a pretty nice trine to Jupiter in Pisces at 1:23, and then she doesn't have 1:23 p.m. and then she doesn't have any transits the rest of the day. Now, I haven't been mentioning the inconjuncts lately, except there's a finger of God happening today and the 17th and the 18th. And you've got Mercury in Cancer in conjunct to Juno in Sagittarius. That happens exactly at 5:41 a.m. They're both at 9 degrees and 5 minutes. And then also what's happening on Sunday is then Mercury has an in conjunct with both Saturn and the South Node. And that puts Mercury right here, right at the focal point of that finger of God. Communicating love, committing to love. Saturn in Aquarius is all about commitment and boundaries and structures. And in this case, I don't feel like it's a bad. Saturn is not always evil. Think of it really as a loving father in this case. And so see what emotions come up. You might end up having a life-changing conversation with your father or a father figure. That could bode well. Maybe your beloved is going to propose, but asking the father first. There's that energy. Or maybe you're saying, sorry, Dad, we are not going to get married. We're not choosing the traditional route. That doesn't work for us. So any of those energies might be coming up on Saturday and on Sunday. And then really can be a nice transit potentially, can be supportive, and that is Venus in Leo trine to Eris in Aries at 9:37 a.m. on the 17th. They're at 24 degrees, 47 minutes of their signs. That's the same degree that the sun squared Eris. So my guess is that Eris is going to go off and be like, oh my God, did you hear what the sun and Pluto did? What the heck? And then Venus is just going to be there listening like a good friend going, yeah, I know. Come on, let's go get a pedicure. Come on, let's go run through the fields. Come on, let's go to the ocean. Let's go do something to play and forget all of that discomfort and misery. Venus in Leo has the courage to choose love over fear. So tap into that energy. And then, we have the sun in Cancer opposing Pluto exactly at 3:46 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. They're both at 25 degrees, 33 minutes of their signs. So what does that mean? All of these oppositions. It's really about taking control of your sovereignty, taking control of your feelings. This is one of the reasons why I love The Gene Keys by Richard Rudd, because it really shows that no matter how we are wounded, whatever our shadow sign is, we can overcome our shadows and turn them into gifts. And I feel like this transit is asking the same thing. The sun is in Cancer, just like Venus and Mars were. So go back to June 5th and June 23rd and see what came up for you on those days. But take the time, take a moment to choose love. Have the courage to choose love over fear. Again, Pluto in this opposition energy is trying to take control, power struggles in the home, power dynamics in the home. How can you transform those power dynamics? Always with love. Especially, there's so much conflict in families right now because people have been choosing sides for years, and those rifts, those divides are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And one side, there's parts of one side, just in one scenario, where someone does feel like they should be giving up their sovereignty. And there's another person in that family that's like, no, wait, no, hold on a second. And, I don't know if you guys heard about a man in California who was put in jail because he did not want to pay the DMV, his registration fees. And he had the law all written out. Like, he knew exactly how to support his claim, his cause. And of course, the government in California is all about overreach, and they threw him in jail, and they are not letting him out of jail. So it's going to be really interesting. This is that that's just that Pluto and Capricorn energy that we're going to be feeling for a few more years. Hang in there. And in the meantime, let's say it again, have the courage to choose love over fear. And that's really it. That's the message. Come home to love. And if your home is not a place of love, if your home is a place of strife, of power dynamics, of tension, maybe it's time to take advantage of the hammer of Thor from the 16th with the South Node in Juno, where maybe it's time for you not to be in that space anymore, or use the finger of God with Mercury, where Mercury speaks his truth lovingly, nurturingly, also very convincingly, emotionally, to say, you know what, this is not working for me anymore. I'm committed, but I'm also committed to myself, and I'm committed to my happiness and my joy. So as I mentioned in the new moon recording, this is a really challenging lunar cycle. The entire lunar cycle is full of challenges for our relationships and how we decide we are going to show up for ourselves and for our relationships. If you are struggling, if you need help, please reach out to me and book a reading at www.divinelyjennifer.com, especially if it's interfering with your health and well-being. That's no good, right? We really the world needs you. The world needs your gifts. We all need to shine our light as brightly as we can with all of the shadows out in the world. And I feel like it can be so empowering to know where these transits happen in our own natal chart so that we can find the light side in the transit instead of just feeling this heavy energy, right? All right, my friends, I think I've said enough, and I want to get this out to you so it's not Tuesday by the time it comes out. So I am sending you so much love. Please, if you like these videos and these audios, please like them. Please subscribe. If you're on YouTube, or if you're not on my mailing list, please go to my website at www.divinelyjennifer.com to pop onto my website. I'm here to be of service to you, my friends. Have a beautiful week. Enjoy the Mars-Venus conjunction. Enjoy that Sun-Neptune trine. I'm Divinely Jennifer. This has been the Juicy Astrology for July 11 to July 17. If you missed it, please catch the audio I made for the new moon, where I cover the new moon that was on July 9th and the energy of the entire lunar cycle as it pertains to what's happening in our worlds and how our own health can be affected. I am sending you so much love. and I will see you the next time. Mwah.